cord clamps. Okay? Your cord clamps may come in the back, may not come in the back. Okay? They are little disposable clamps. Look them up online and you'll see them. But they're like little lobster claws. Okay? And as soon as you close them, done. It's a hemostat. It stays on until the umbilical cord falls off or we surgically remove it. Okay, so these are permanent. You have no clamps. What do you do, surgical tech? Kelly, right? Kelly's a little smaller. Remember, it can be this size, or huge.
Peon?
Peon's probably gonna be best. The smaller of the peons. You got a 20-something baby coming out. Maybe use the bigger one.
Since it's gonna fall off or like or we're gonna dissect it, we don't have
This
to.
is surgical. Remember, we need to get things done. We're not gonna sit there and be like, hold on, baby. Let me put some clamps. We'll get some clamps first. Oh, they're in the department, 3 blocks away. I'll be back. Okay, we're good. Baby, because you don't go back in. Okay, we need to go. So what do? Kellys, peons. Okay, apply those. Do you have to keep count of those? So remember, just like we said it right down in the cavity, we might also say with baby. I don't know how many times I've gone in. Please help us find a peon. What do you mean? For what case? C-section. Oh, check the baby. Oh yeah, I was on the baby. Oops. Because they swaddle the baby, they check it and everything, and then the baby goes to the mother. There's a big peon on the baby.
It's still there? Oh, wow.
Okay, yes. Okay. Hopefully you guys don't get that, but a lot of L&D and OB surgery centers and blah 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 tend to not count, even though they should count. Okay? So definitely, a surgical tech, go there and keep down. So yeah, if you use peons again, usually use one towards the baby, one towards the mother, or towards the placenta, right? So, are we removing something from somewhere? What do we always do when we remove a piece of something from the body? It's always clamp, cut, top, right? So remember, when it's time to detach the baby, we clamp, cut, what possible scissor, guys? The uterine Mayo or uterine straight curved Mayo scissor, whatever you have in your set. The heavier ones are better. That umbilical cord is thick, guys. Yeah, let's put the tube on. Don't do that. Alright, so yeah, we use a heavy uterine scissor or a curved Mayo scissor. Alright, do we have to tie these off? At one point, because we can't leave those peons behind, right? They're part of a set. Down the road, your nurse can go get it, take your time, and get those clamps. Usually they do have a set of clamps, depending on your facility. I've been places where the clamps came here, and I've been in facilities where the clamps didn't. The NICU team or the baby team had those clamps ready. And all they did is when they were done with those clamps, they threw them on the bottom of your cart over here. I've had nurses throw them on top of my setup. It's like, no. What? Other techs let me do that. It's contaminated. Contaminated. You OR techs.
What do you do at that point?
Huh?
What do you do at that point?
Doc, I can only give you this and that because all this is contaminated. Why is it contaminated? They threw the dirty. How are they dirty? Did they fall? No, it came from the baby. Oh, they're fine. Okay. Alright, so I'll continue to do what I can. Definitely, we're going to need to talk. Everybody in here, we're going to need to talk. They have to count. They have to make sure they follow the strict policy. Okay? But you know what? Not to talk too much about them. They got in trouble later down the years for not continuing to do that. Okay, so yes, again, we got the clamps. We cut. We tie these off. Some doctors still old school. They might use some sutures, ligatures. Okay, but again, have some clamps ready, some scissors, some ligations. Why did we move the Mayo out the way? Not only to have space, but they're sharps. Whenever you're delivering the baby's coming out, get rid of anything that might harm the baby. I've seen doctors try to put the baby on a Mayo stand. Okay?
What? What?
And guess what? Clamp. There's instruments and things poking up because that's the setup, right? So what do they say? Fix the situation instead, right? Make sure you don't put instruments up there. How am I supposed to give you instruments? Okay? Yeah. I don't just materialize them out of thin air and give them to you. And I don't want to be reaching back here because I'm not paying attention to what you're doing. So, how about this? Move the Mayo stand out the way. Put some blankets down so you can lay it after you. Some techs would say just leave the mayo stand and take the sharks out the way and put them back. And then when that's all done, bring them back. I got a better one. Just move your mayo stand, put that down, and move it back when you're done. Okay? This is all going to depend on what you like, guys. Again, this is your setup. If you want to take those blades out because you feel safe, take them all out. Put them near your sharks container. When the baby's all out and ready, bring those back if you still need them. If you don't need them, leave them there. We're going to need 10 blades anymore anyways. The cuts have already been done. Leave it there. That's another good thing too. Some of those techs are saying, well, I'm done with it. Might as well put it there so I can make sure all my blades and sharks are off. Which is another thing I'm going to show you how to break down. Make sure you have all your stuff out the way already. That's good. In my case, I'm just working really quick. Move the mayo stand, I might need a 10 blade because something might happen. I've had C-sections convert into hysterectomies, abdominal hysterectomy. Okay? So again, most of the instruments that are here are going to be a successful C-section. If anything like this, guys, we can deliver. Okay? Other things we're going to need too is once we cut the umbilical cord, usually the doctors like to take blood cord samples. Those samples go to lab, and we check to make sure the blood gases are okay, making sure there's no diseases, blah blah blah. So that gets sent off at the time. And it's best to know when it's attached to the placenta, when it's fresh blood. Down the road, the baby can get other things. Remember, they were delivered, so we got to make sure we get it right there and then from the baby placenta cord. Okay? More than likely, try to take it from the placenta, not the baby that's already detached, guys. Now you're draining his blood. So get it from the placenta. Okay, I've seen it done before. No, it's here, okay? Now, is the placenta possibly still attached? Now, again, grabbing that cord blood, it's as simple as getting a little medicine cup. I literally tell the doctor, just let go of the clamp. It shoots right in there. Draw that up, and just like you guys do putting fluid back into the little vials, you're going to get a little vacuum vial. You guys ever seen those like in the movies? Little glass and it has, you inject stuff in there. The evil serum. Okay? Now this is the blood cord that goes in there. All you're going to do is just inject it. It seals itself just like these do. Remember I told you it seals itself, and now the blood stays sterile in there. You can get that sent off into the lab and get started. Sometimes you might have to do that at a certain time. It's easy. Again, draw the blood from the little bucket that I told you guys. Squirt it in there, you're good. You guys will think of different ways. I've used a syringe, pop off this plunger, put it in a syringe, put the plunger back in there, just put it in there. There's many different ways of doing it. Alright, so those are the things that you need to have, guys. The delivering part is the most important. Getting the baby out, clearing the airway, making sure there's something there for the baby to lay on for a couple seconds, lie on for a couple seconds. And then making sure we get cord blood. Once the baby's out the way, now we focus on the cavity, the uterine cavity. Should we really be putting anything inside the uterine cavity? Why not? Let's number one thing of why we don't put things inside the uterine cavity. Now I'll give you an example. I heard people say, oh, you might hurt the uterus. True. Okay, you might. There's number one reason why we don't as surgical personnel. And we should have an understanding. Even though surgeons are going to reach in there and grab, and they're going to tell you push over here. We're not supposed to do those things in surgical sense, but to get her done, we do it, right? All right.
You're done.
So, inside the uterus, should we put anything inside? No. Why not? Very good.
Dirty side?
The inside of the uterus is not sterile. It's still considered dirty area because it has cavity openings to the vaginal canal. So any instrument, if it does go in there, including the laps, because I've seen that, doctors will put laps in there to clean it, and then try to throw this on your field. It should go from the inner portion of the uterus to the kick butt. So make sure at that point, you also hurry up, nurse. Throw it over. Hey, doctor, can you throw the laps in there? Sure. You should know that, yeah, it's the proper thing to do. But again, they are contaminated. If they end up, the doctor sometimes will put them at the patient's legs. Because remember, you move your leg, mayo stand, baby. You look back and he's already grabbing with an instrument. That instrument now is dirty. Put it aside. Again, things don't need to happen now, guys. Prioritize. You use that, put the clamp on the edge of your back table, leave it dirty. Okay? Doctor's then going to clean out, use the clothes. Can there be bleeding going on? Yes. Again, how does the doctor take care of that? You guys know. There's hemostasis, whether it's mechanical, whether it's medical, right? I mean, medicine-wise, whether it's, again,